The NFL franchise tag window has come and gone, and the New York Giants did not use a tag on Saquon Barkley, and they also did not use a tag on Xavier McKinney, which means Saquon Barkley is going to be a free agent, and Xavier McKinney is going to be a free agent, and Joe Schoen will now be tasked with bringing either of them back if he deems either of them should be a New York Giant next season. We're going to break this down. I'll react to it. I think it's kind of weird that Xavier McKinney at least did not get the transition tag, but this is why you subscribe to the channel. When Giants news breaks, we get you guys a video as soon as possible, so subscribe and turn the notifications on so you don't miss anything this offseason. The day for the Giants started off with them not putting a franchise tag on Saquon Barkley, which means he is going to be a free agent and he can negotiate and sign with any team in NFL free agency. Barkley had a pretty good year last year, 247 carries, 962 yards, 6 touchdowns, had a long run of 36 yards. I think we can all agree, though, his best days are behind him, while he still has some really good days in front of him. And I think he may be a really good player for a team like the Houston Texans, who right now are the betting favorite to sign Saquon Barkley in NFL free agency at minus 200. Then you got the Los Angeles Chargers at the second spot at plus 275. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants tie at the 3 spot for the best odds to have Saquon Barkley on their team next season, and the Chicago Bears at plus 900. What does this tell me? This might be the end for Saquon Barkley. On top of that, there was reports that came out from Ryan Dunleavy today that the New York Giants never gave Saquon Barkley a concrete offer. They just exchanged loose numbers, and now he is going to be a free agent. Maybe there was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, handshake under the table type of agreement that we've talked about on this channel, where Saquon will go test his value, and when he gets the best offer, he will return to the Giants with that offer and give them the opportunity to match that said offer. But that is not written in ink. No one knows for sure if that is going to happen. That is just a rumor at this point. It does really start to feel, though, like this is the end for Saquon Barkley as a member of the New York Football Giants. Not because they didn't put the franchise tag on him. We kind of knew that was not going to happen for a couple of months now at this point. But just kind of the things you're hearing, kind of the things you're seeing, reading, talking to some people, it just sounds like he and the Giants will not be able to come to an agreement on the certain price point that would get a deal done. So what are the Giants going to do? They're going to have to turn their attention to trying to fix this running back position and establish a run game without Saquon Barkley. And the first opportunity they'll have to really try to start to fix that problem will be in free agency. Here are some of the top backs that the Giants could look at. Obviously, Saquon Barkley is at the top of the list. Josh Jacobs right behind him. Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, Austin Eckler, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins. I would keep my eye on Devin Singletary. Has some connections with Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen dating back to their days with the Buffalo Bills. I think Singletary fits the type of offense that Brian Daboll wants to run. And I think that he can excel in kind of that downhill type of running style that Carmen Bracillo coaches on the offensive line. A.J. Dillon, a physical runner. Also would keep my eyes on Zach Moss, as he's another guy that has some ties to the Giants. So it may just be the end, but I want you to predict it, because the Giants still can re-sign Saquon Barkley. He was not franchise tag. He's currently not on the team right now, but they will still negotiate. I'm sure this is not the last time that Joe Schoen and Saquon Barkley's people will talk. Maybe they can get a deal done before Monday, or maybe they wait till Monday when free agency opens up, and then it is just a bidding war for Saquon Barkley. What do you think, though? Will Saquon re-sign with the New York Giants? Type Y for yes, type N for no. For me, for the first time, I feel like he's actually a goner. So that's where I'm at right now. The news of the day, though, really circulates around Xavier McKinney. We knew that Barkley was not going to be tagged, but we always thought that Xavier McKinney would at least they would at least use the transition tag on Xavier McKinney. There's really no reason for the Giants to not use the transition tag, but they didn't use the tag at all. What they could have done was this transition tag at $13.8 million, which really just sets a baseline of the value that you are going to pay Xavier McKinney. He is then allowed to go out and negotiate with other teams, and if he agrees to a deal, the Giants then have the opportunity to bring him back on that same contract. They pretty much have the opportunity to match that contract, but neither of these did happen, and now Xavier McKinney is a free agent. The 24-year-old safety out of Alabama who had 116 tackles last year, 11 pass breakups, his best season in the NFL, is a free agent, and he could choose to go play somewhere else. My question to Joe Schoen is this. If you're not going to pay an ascending 24-year-old safety who is a two-time captain and played every single defensive snap last year for the New York Giants, who are you going to re-sign? You're not always going to have the best left tackle. That's a no-brainer to re-sign in Andrew Thomas, or the best nose tackle in the league in Dexter Lawrence. I don't know what Xavier McKinney could have done more to make himself look more appealing to the Giants. 24 years old. Best football is ahead of him. Team captain, 2 times voted on by the players. And his availability is one of his best abilities. He did not miss a snap last year. Very, very puzzling decision by Joe Schoen and the New York Giants. I always go back to this Pro Football Focus write-up on McKinney because I think it just does a really good job of outlining some of his strengths as a football player. McKinney's coverage grades as a free safety 81.4, and in the box 79.4 are top 10 marks amongst safeties in 2023. And there is a big enough sample size of box play despite his general deployment as a deep player. Over the past 3 seasons, McKinney's 7.0 yards allowed per target in coverage ranks top 25 amongst safeties. And his 17 combined interceptions and forced incompletions puts him in the top 20. While he could make more plays at or near the line of scrimmage, he rarely whiffs on open field tackles. The 24-year-old has missed just 7.8% of his tackle attempts over his career. 11th best among 89 safeties in the NFL with at least 100 tackles over the past 4 seasons, making him a reliable enough last line of defense. I mean, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about how special of a player he is and how important he is to this defense and how just much better he is than your average safety, I don't know. I'm very upset that the Giants did not at least put the transition tag on McKinney. There's no harm in that. What does that tell me, though? The Giants do not value Xavier McKinney at $13.7 million. And maybe that's a bigger problem than we really are thinking about. Do you think he's going to be back with the Giants, though? I asked you to predict it with Barkley. I'm asking you to predict it with McKinney as well. Type R for re-sign, type P for pass. I don't understand how you don't get this deal done. It's crazy. The Giants are picking 6th in the draft. They were number 1 in turnover differential last year, and they were picking 6th in the draft. And you are letting your best offensive skilled player leave, and now your best defensive back is leaving. I'm sure Joe Schoen has a plan, but man, oh man, he's got his work cut out for him this offseason, on top of everything we're hearing about Daniel Jones. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. If you're not going to pay McKinney, I mean, I don't know. I don't know with this one. Make sure you guys are following me over on social media at @MarshallGreen_ on Twitter and at @MarshallGreen_ on Instagram. The first spot you would have heard about Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney is over on my social media pages. So follow me over there. And if you made it this far in the video, hit that thumbs up on your way out. It's the best way to support the channel.